I want to take a moment tonight to talk about a topic that's been really prevalent after the Michael Brown shooting. It's been in social media, it's been on the news, etc. One thing a lot of people are saying after Darren Wilson shot Michael Brown, he was unarmed, they're saying, well, why didn't Darren Wilson use non-lethal? Why didn't he use less than lethal options? Why didn't he use a stun gun? Why didn't he use mace, etc.? Now, I will happily go on record as saying that less than lethal options are great tools for police officers. They could even be great tools for non-police officers. But I will not say that they would have been appropriate in this instance. Like I said, less than lethal is a great tool, but it's only appropriate in certain times. It's great when you're subduing a suspect that's resisting a little bit. If you've got officers already on the scene, someone's resisting, and you want to take them down in a way that you reduce the chances of them hurting themselves, less than lethal is great. If you want to take a little bit of fight out of someone that's really not a threat to you, but they're going to be an endangerment to themselves or maybe other people around when you subdue them, less than lethal is a great option. Things like mace, they're great for taking the fight out of someone before they even bear up enough to give you a fight. Someone that's mouthy during a protest, etc., that looks like they might be getting ready to physically confront you, a little bit of mace might take that whole situation off the playing field right away. Less than lethal usually comes into play most often in an offensive manner, when you are offensively making someone not be a threat, or you are subduing someone, etc. But when it comes to defense, I don't think less than lethal is that great of an option. Now, it is sometimes. Now, like if someone's 90-pound grandmother attacks you while you're at a domestic disturbance or something, a less than lethal might be the best way to stop her from hurting herself or you. And circumstances like that, like if someone that comes at you and you are pretty certain this person isn't really a threat to you physically, but you don't want to get in an altercation with them, less than lethal can work. But if you actually feel like your life is in danger, like I believe Darren Wilson felt his life was in danger in this situation, less than lethal is not a good option. Anyone that carries a handgun knows that choosing to grapple with someone just because they're unarmed while you're armed is not a good idea. And when you use less than lethal options, you run the risk of having to grapple with that person. And when you grapple with an unarmed person, especially if they're stronger than you, they could very quickly become an armed person with your gun and you could be the unarmed person. When you are actually in fear for your safety, less than lethal is not an option that I would ever go to, and it's not an option that I would force on someone. I would not require someone who's just carrying a firearm as a civilian to use less than lethal if they felt their life was in danger. I would not put that burden on them. So I'm not going to put it on police officers. When they legitimately feel threatened, they have to act to end the threat. Less than lethal does not end a threat. It might lessen a threat, but it doesn't end a threat. And when they feel like their life is in danger, they have to end the threat. So in the situation with Michael Brown, I'm not going to get into whether what they say happened or didn't happen or whose story is right. But I'm going to say this whole idea that the cops should have used less than lethal simply because Michael Brown was unarmed, it's just not accurate. It's not a good idea, and there's no way that he should have been required to do that.